In today's video, I'm going to give you guys my top 3 stocks for the week, along with my analysis for SPY and why I like the way it looks, and give you guys my price levels for the long and the short for each one of the stocks that I'm going to talk about. Stay tuned because these stocks are really, really good and have amazing chart setups. So let's get straight into it. No time wasted. The first thing I want to talk about is SPY and what SPY can do this coming week. So what I'm looking for from SPY is pretty straightforward. So last time SPY did this candle right here. This is known as a doji star reversal candle. Basically, you go up on the trend, and then as soon as you get a doji star reversal candle, you start trending back down. And then you got a nice little hammer reversal candle, so we got back up again. Well, now we have another little doji star candle. Now, these patterns, these candlestick patterns, aren't really as strong in terms of the SPY because usually it's more reliant on whether the SPY is going to move up or move down. So if we get a news on Monday, market might not care about any patterns and it might go up or it might go down depending on how the news is. But for the time being, what I'm looking for is if SPY does break under 508.50 right here, we have a nice little gap fill down to 506. That's about a 2.5 point gap that we have from here to here. That's a pretty nice gap fill. If SPY decides to break, I would say roughly around like 513, it would look better on the 4-hour chart. So let's go to the 4-hour chart. If the SPY breaks the 13 area, roughly right around here after the gap is filled, then we have room towards 515, which is a nice 2-point run to the upside for the SPY if it breaks out. However, if the SPY fails to break this 513 and it tops off around this 513, we could see a nice pullback down towards 510. After 510, we have room towards, I would say, 508.50 that we're looking for on the daily, which after 508.50, we have room down to the gap to 506. So those are the levels that you are looking for when it comes to the SPY. So watch out for these for this coming week. I'll be playing this in my private group, which, by the way, link is in the descriptions below if you want to get in and sign up as soon as possible, because I will be changing the price to the membership very, very soon. And anybody who signs up with the price that is currently at right now will keep it forever until they cancel whenever they want to. But yeah, the prices are extremely, extremely cheap at the moment. So get in before the price goes up because, it might not come back down ever again. So get in before it's too late. With that said, I do always post my alerts. Whatever position I take, I post it in the main alert room. And then, of course, I give you guys a morning notes every day for whatever the stocks that I look at. So catch these plays if you want to. I'll be posting a morning notes tomorrow morning on before pre-market. So not before market open, during pre-market. So yeah, and let's get right back into our top 3 stocks. So the first stock on the list, and this one is really, really good because it has a setup that I call uh pretty obvious setup. It's not complicated to understand. It's basically you have a stock that releases earnings, gaps up huge, and then consolidates for a possible breakout to the upside or breakout to the downside, right? And so what we have here is the first stock on the list would be CVNA. CVNA does have this setup, and I want to see if CVNA can break through 124 on Monday and push to 126 to 130, or if it can break below 110 and we can short it inside the gap all the way down to maybe $90. I mean, that's how much the gap is. I'm not really looking for this entire gap. Maybe from 110 to 105 and then 100 could be a nice short setup. So it's a very straightforward, very simple breakout setup. You got a long setup and you got a short setup. So whichever way it picks is basically the way that I am going to play. So if it breaks 124, go for a long towards 126 to 130. If it breaks under 110, go for a short down towards 105 and 100 maybe. Pretty straightforward, no complication here, just a simple support and resistance break. Number 2 stock on the list. This one is a little bit more complicated, but it does have a really, really good setup. And this is going to be MRNA. And MRNA, similar to um, CVNA, came out with earnings and it ran up huge. Now, What MRNA did the following day, which is you can see this little red candle right here. This is what is known as an inside day candle or an inside day bar. Now, there's going to be a video that pops up at the top where it talks about the 3-bar pattern, just a 40-second short video that explains what a 3-bar pattern is. You can go ahead and click on it and watch it. It only takes 40 seconds. But basically, this is the start of a possible 3-bar pattern. This big green candle is your mother bar with an inside bar the next day. So what we are looking for the 3-bar pattern is the third day, which is going to be on Monday, is the breakout bar. And what you want the breakout bar to do is you want to get this breakout bar to break above the high of this red candle, which is right around here. So that is the high of the red candle. It is roughly 126.40, which is the high of Friday, and that is the red candle's high. The break of that is where you long it for it run to 129 to 130, basically. That would basically tell you, okay, this is the start of a 3-bar pattern. Now, to confirm the 3-bar pattern, what you need on Monday is for MRNA to close above 126.40. That will confirm the 3-bar pattern. So what you will have is you'll close above this level right here. And then that means that the fourth candle, so the candle that comes in on Tuesday, is going to be a much bigger move, which is usually what happens on a 3-bar pattern. Again, you can watch that video on the top that popped up. It will explain to you exactly how this setup is going to look. It's in the process of happening, but the entry point happens to be right on Monday, which if it breaks above 126.40 is when we are going to enter MRNA for a long. So you could go for like a 128 call or a 130 call for the week and see if we can play that move to the upside. And again, I will be doing options trades for all of these stocks. So keep that in mind as, again, I will be trading these and putting all of the levels, the price levels and entry points in my private group when I make the notes in the morning. So yeah, MRNA, amazing chart setup. Very simple, very straightforward. In the 4-hour chart, if you go to MRNA, it's more of a consolidation flag right here. So you're basically looking for the same thing. You're looking for this 126.40, 126.50 break, send it to 129 to 130. Right? That's a nice little, 3 to 4 points on the upside. If MRNA doesn't go up and let's say the pattern doesn't work and it's invalidated, because not all patterns always work, right? It's not 100% guaranteed. What you can do is you can look for a short under 122 right here, bring it down to 120, and then possibly fill the gap a little bit more towards 118. I highly doubt it's going to do that, but I do think that the 3-bar pattern is very likely because usually when you have a big candle and then an inside bar, that's a good sign for more upside. Not to mention the MRNA had good earnings, so it's going up on earnings. It has a good news behind it. It can run more to the upside. So yeah, I really like MRNA for the number 2 play. The final play on the list is going to be this one. And this is probably my favorite play heading into this week. And this is Netflix. And yes, I've talked about Netflix multiple times in the past. Well, guess what? It's setting up again for a lot of things here. The first one is pretty straightforward. Now, these are levels that I've drawn before when I make like videos the past 2 weeks. You'll see that Netflix has been one of the stocks that I've been talking about. Basically, Netflix has stayed within the range that I have given it. Now, on Friday, it has come down and tested that 580 range, which is what I was looking for a possible long. Now, there's 2 possible entries here. One is a short and another is a long. Now, if tomorrow on Monday, Netflix goes and breaks this 580, we have gap to fill all the way up to 600, which is a 20-point gap fill, which you can look for as a possible long. I don't really like it as a long, but I do know that the earnings was a lot better than what people gave it credit for. So if this does break 580, I will go for a small size, play it towards 600 and take my profit. However, the other thing that I'm looking at is if 580 is a topping, I can look for a short to bring it back down towards, I would say, 560, where you have a nice bit of support here at 560. After 560 breaks, I want to take it down to 550 and possibly to the lows right here where it bounced off of, which is 540. So you got about a nice 10 to 20 point more on the downside after the 560 comes in. So 2 possible plays here. Either we break out of 580 for a long, or we reject 580 and come back down to 570, 560, 550, and so on and so forth. So watch out for Netflix on these two levels. I really like the way these charts look. I want to quickly mention a couple of stocks that are not my primary focus, but still good to watch. Is Costco. Just keep an eye on this one. Is doing a downtrend reversal, has a gap to fill on the upside. Worth watching for 750 break on Monday. You also want to keep an eye on Meta. This I have a swing on it. It's inside the gap. I want to see if Meta can go up and fill the gap all the way to 484. I do like its earnings a lot. I didn't think Meta had bad earnings, so this could also be another stock that can run really hard. And last but not least, Nvidia. Keep an eye on it because Nvidia is shaping up again. Possible downtrend reversal could end up pushing over 900 and start pushing towards 920s and 930s this coming week. So these are some other stocks that just keep an eye on them in case they make some move. But for the top three stocks, CVNA, really love the way this looks. Very, very nice chart setup. Netflix, amazing chart setup. Really like the way this one looks as well. And of course, MRNA, 3-bar pattern setup. Cannot miss this one as well. Amazing chart setup. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. And with that said, guys, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.